All right. All right. So that hat that you see in the thumbnail, that is actually my channel hat. That's custom. Eventually, I might sell them, but who knows? I'll probably end up partnering with the actual hat company if I'm going to start selling merchandise and open up my own website and that. So while I'm talking about stuff, I'm gonna work on building my tackle boxes. So there's that. Um, some stuff won't fit in my tackle boxes, and some stuff I have to keep out of my tackle boxes. But yeah, other than that, I'll work on getting everything else done and put in my tackle boxes because I'm trying to save time while I'm talking about stuff. I'm going to be building my tackle boxes. All right, so if anybody knows anything about I'm pretty sure I did it in my live stream. I live streamed on my birthday. So October 16th marks a very pivotal day in my life. So I know a lot of people are going to be mad about this, and it's really a sore subject because it's religious. But anyway, so I made a deal with God. So people aren't going to believe this, and I don't expect people to believe this. But anyways, I made a deal with God that I would become the patron saint de morte. All right, so if anybody knows anything about the patron saint de morte, it's not actually death that they celebrate and worship. It's actually the helping of guidance towards afterlife to be in heaven. So like to guide the soul so that they're not stuck on earth. Souls, because obviously it's more than one soul, not just one person. So as people pray and make offerings and stuff like that, I'll become more powerful. And yeah, so yeah, if you want to pray, by all means do it. I'm not going to make anybody do it though. And I don't really care, obviously, regardless if you do or not, or whether you believe or not either. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just what I made a deal with. So yeah, if I break the deal, I die. So there's that. But yeah, it was worth the deal because I mean, become a saint is become a saint. So yeah, eventually I'll be able to perform like healing miracles and stuff. But currently, the only miracle that I perform is the miracle of knowledge. So yeah, there's that miracle of knowledge. People are like, what in the world is the miracle of knowledge? Well, the miracle of knowledge is knowledge of past. It would be knowledge of what came before the earth. So like knowledge of the heavens. So I have knowledge of the heavens and I earned it, and it caused a lot of issues because I know stuff I'm not supposed to know. So I can bestow the miracle of knowledge upon people so that they too can know what they're not supposed to know. And we can be together and knowing stuff that we're not supposed to know. But anyway, so yeah, it involves so I did say I was multitasking, so excuse the noise. I'm not very good at multitasking, but yeah, that's why I stopped talking. I'm trying to think. But yeah, so because I say it's a gift doesn't mean it's really that good because it can cause bad things like if you can't handle it, then it can cause you to not be able to speak. It could even kill you too if you react in the wrong way about it. But yeah, if you act in the right way about it, it'll just give you knowledge and you'll know things that most people don't know. Well, nobody else knows but me. But anyways, yeah, there's that. So yeah. But as far as like healings and stuff like that, I won't be able to do that for a while. I might be able to, but I'm not very versed in that sort of thing. I've never tried it before, but I know that I can bestow the miracle of knowledge upon people. It's quite something, but yeah. It does have its drawbacks because there's certain ways that it has to be done for it to be possible. Like there has to be a connection with a physical connection, normally through touch. It could be any touch, but it has to be skin to skin. It can't just be like skin to clothing. It doesn't count. But once there's a physical contact, then the connection can be made, and it has to be eye contact too. The window to a person's soul is through their eyes. So to actually be able to bestow the gift of knowledge from me to other people, I would have to look them dead in their eyes, and I have to look in my eyes. But it's more to it than just looking somebody in the eyes. You have to look through the person's eyes, like peer into their soul. And the normal way to think about the way to do that would be like when you love somebody, you look through their eyes. You don't just look into the eyes because you're in love with them. It's that same sort of premise. You can't just look into somebody's eyes and expect it to work. You got to look through their eyes. But yeah, there's that. I can do certain things like I can control wind. Not very well currently, but I can kind of. I can make it more windy. I can create weak wind. Now, mind you, it's not very powerful because you gotta I understand it's a vast world out there. So if I was like in an enclosed area, it wouldn't work because it works off of the actual natural. I don't know how you'd explain that, but yeah, it works off of the Earth's natural whatever you would call it. I don't know how to explain that. What even words to say for that? But yeah, so it only works if you're outside too. There's that. But yeah, so if it's not windy at all, I can make it windy, and if it is windy, then I can make it more windy. But it's just through like spiritual energy and that. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, but it just I just became the saint October 16th this year, so I haven't been a saint that long, and I had to get permission from the previous saint that died because he or she I'm pretty sure it was a girl that was before me was the Saint de Morta, if I'm not mistaken. I had the permission from them to become them. The new version of them or the rebirth of them or whatever you call it. I don't know exactly what you would call it. But anyways, so yeah, there's that. And I had options of what I wanted to be and what Saint Patron said I wanted to be. And I chose Saint de Morta. But yeah, I'm not even Spanish or anything like that. But as far as what Spanish people I view as being the best, obviously Mexicans and actual Spain from Spanish people from Spain. I like them too. But yeah, so being their patron saint doesn't really matter because I like Mexican people. They're hard workers and they're good people, and they tend to stay to themselves and don't just seeking out arguments and stuff like that for no real reason at all. And they're not racist, so to speak. Most of them aren't racist. I've noticed that much. There's a lot of Spanish people out there that are super racist towards white people, especially towards white people. Oh, look at that cracker and this and that. And oh, he's horrible because he's white. Oh, he doesn't deserve the job because he can't speak Spanish. Yeah, there's racism from Spanish people towards white people, but with Mexicans, it's not like that. So yeah, and with Spanish people too, it's not like that too. They don't have that racism aspect to them. It's mainly just Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Cubans. But yeah, there's that. But yeah, anyway, so I can title this a conspiracy video because I'm going to talk about some other stuff too. All right, so conspiracy video of NASA that I was going to do. I was going to put in its own video, but I just decided to do live streams now. So I'm not going to do regular videos. I'm going to do live streams talking about stuff. So yeah, I'll do some regular videos, conspiracy too, but this is going to be a hodgepodge of stuff. So one of the main ones is the effect of space travel that we participate in right now on the actual environment of the Earth. Space travel right now is killing the Earth, literally. Every time we travel out into space or travel back into space with our spaceship, we blast out the upper atmosphere, um, and also the mid atmosphere too, where ozone is formed. So what happens is you're blasting out all the ozone, all the ozone that is being formed into the atmosphere, into space, out into space, and you're dissipating it out. You're causing it to break that it's called almost like water, like surface tension that's keeping it attached to the earth and not just floating out into space, or causing it to just float out into space. Look at how oily my fingers get from these baits that I'm touching. But anyways, that's besides the point. So what happens is you're blasting the atmosphere out into space. And what happens is it causes holes. Now people are gonna be like, oh, that's wrong. That's the wrong terminology and this and that. Well, the actual term of holes needs to be explained because it's not an actual hole. It's a thinning. What it does is it punches a hole, a circular hole, or cylindrical hole is the proper term because it's 3D. It causes a chunk of it, a cylindrical chunk of the atmosphere to be blasted out into space. So that creates a cylindrical hole, like a cookie cutter cutout of it, and then of the ozone layer and upper atmosphere and middle atmosphere. It takes some of the middle atmosphere too out when it happens. So what happens is the rest of the atmosphere that's surrounding it rushes in to fill that hole. So it creates a thinning of the atmosphere over a wide area, surface area. And then eventually you do it enough and it thins out the entire Earth's atmosphere. And that's why we're getting a lot of global warming right now, is because it's letting in more of the sun's rays, X-rays and stuff like that. It's heating up the surface. That's why Florida is a lot hotter, and Texas is a lot hotter than it should be right now, and it's because that's where a lot of our space travel is happening from. There's a lot of rockets being launched and that, but there's ways to fix this. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could fix it, but it just costs a lot of money, so they're not really worried about it. So, yeah, but we should be worried about it because it's our atmosphere, and we're gonna have very big problems if we don't fix this pretty soon. So yeah, we as a nation should be pushing NASA to be fixing their issues. They could even advance their technology of their spacecraft to not be punching out in the atmosphere when they exit and enter the atmosphere. What needs to happen is they need to increase the speed of their spaceships so that they can exit at a lower parabola, a lower angle. I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but the trajectory angle of the actual spacecraft is too steep right now, and that's why they're hitting the atmosphere and it's causing it to punch out. But it's the same sort of thing as like when you're skipping a rock. So if you throw a rock and you throw it at the too steep of an angle, it just forces that surface tension to break and splashes the water up. And think of the atmosphere as that you're hitting the atmosphere and you're punching it out, and it's just sending all that excess up. And the way that is up is space. So it's punching out all that gas out into space. Like you would if you messed up your skipping stone, you'd be punching in the water up into the air. But if you throw it at a shallow enough angle, you can actually throw it hard enough that you puncture the surface, but it doesn't cause it to splash up and out. It causes it to splash back and down. So it wouldn't cause a thinning of the atmosphere. It would just displace it to another area besides it, and then it would flow back in. It would be like creating a wave, and then it would just settle back into the area that it had left. So you wouldn't cause a thinning of the atmosphere if you exit at a shallow angle. That's why when aliens, when they enter and exit our atmosphere, don't cause sonic booms and stuff like that. And because they're not punching out the atmosphere, they're at such a high velocity that they can exit and enter our atmosphere at a shallower angle, and it doesn't cause our ozone layer to be depleted when they travel to and from Earth in space travel. Yeah, so we need to keep work on being more like them and getting to a point in our technology where we can actually be fast enough to exit and enter as such as their spacecraft does. So that way we're not destroying our Earth. Yeah, but a lot of people think that CO2 causes global warming, which is just bull crap. If it did, then we would be fried by now. There wouldn't be anybody on Earth. Look at all the CO2 and carbon monoxide and all that comes from farts and poop and volcanoes and just exhaling, and that it's just retarded to think that burning coal actually causes global warming. It doesn't. What actually causes global warming would be chlorofluorocarbons, CFLs, and space travel because it's punching out the atmosphere. And a big one is nuclear bombs and stuff like that. Back in the 50s, and that they were exploding nuclear bombs up into the atmosphere, upper atmosphere, to see what would happen, and lower stratosphere and stuff like that, and out in the space, lower space, like right where the transition is, and right out in the space too. And it was causing the atmosphere to be blasted out into space and to just destroy our atmosphere. Yeah. So it caused a lot of thinning by doing that. But yeah, nuclear waste and stuff like that, and pollution, and that causes also a lot of damage to our atmosphere and to the ground. If you're damaging the ground, you're damaging up the atmosphere too. Think of all the plants in that die from nuclear fallout and stuff like that. That's causing less oxygen to be put in the atmosphere, to be allowing it to cause ozone, due to like lightning and stuff like that. Lightning is normally what causes ozone to form because it causes the oxygen that's in the atmosphere to fuse together, and that causes O2, which is ozone. Yeah, so two oxygen molecules fuse together. But if there isn't enough oxygen in the atmosphere, then you can't cause ozone to form because there isn't enough oxygen to cause two to fuse together. If they're too far apart, then it takes too much energy, so that it doesn't happen. But you know that the ozone layer is being repaired when you go out and after a thunderstorm, and you just smell the air and it smells fresh. That fresh smell that you're smelling is actually ozone that you're breathing in before it diffuses out into the atmosphere itself. Um, yeah, so yeah, humans can benefit from breathing O2. It's way pure. People think, oh, you gotta breathe in O only to breathe properly, but you can breathe in O2, no problem, and your body just splits it apart, and you get double the dose, and it's more pure for you. So it's ozone's good. Um, and yeah, so there's that. But yeah. So, anyways, let's get back to doing some other stuff. But there's other stuff that NASA's hiding from us, like there's a possibility that our stars connect to other stars through wormholes. So you fly into the star and you fly out of another star, which would help out a ton. I mean, think of how much time that would save if you needed to travel long distances to go, like, say, another Earth to populate that, because our Earth is trashed right now pretty much. And if we don't downgrade our population quickly, then we're going to cause our Earth to crash and burn, and it'll be the end of us as a race. So the way to save us is to expand and become aliens and populate other Earths. And the easiest way to do that is to go to other solar systems. So we need to figure out a way to go to other solar systems efficiently. But yeah, that's just some other talk. I've invented a way that we don't have to use cryogenics to make it. So even if we don't improve our speed of our spacecraft too much, or decrease our travel time between solar systems, we could still make it there in our own lifetime because we wouldn't be dying of old age. So there's that. But I mean, like, seriously, it's gonna be a while before that happens because I've just invented it tonight. So it's not like it's gonna be happening anytime soon. Let's just put it like that. Let's be real. Yeah, but eventually, when I get my inventions patented and that, I also have a spacecraft that has a biome in it, so it's self-sustaining. You'll be taking like an Earth up there with you, out into space, and traveling with the Earth in space with its own gravity in that too. So it has to have its own gravity if you want to have a biome that functions, that you can actually use as resources. It's built to house and feed and whatnot. Safely 10,000 people at the beginning, because you got to think of how many people is going to give birth to more people. And so you don't want your population to grow too big, because your max population would be probably about 100 million. Yeah, so you want to build up to that, and you're going to be traveling out in space a long, long time to reach the other solar systems that you're searching, because the first solar system you come across likely isn't going to have a viable Earth that you can populate. So, yeah, you'll have to search around, and it might take a while. So by the time you find it, you're likely to have overpopulated if you don't have a small population to start with. But it has to be big enough that you can expand your population. Too small, and you'll just die out. Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, so you'll be taking all sorts of animals and stuff with you. Animals, plants, everything that's on Earth will be taken up with you, including people. But you'll take like a certain type of people with you. You won't just take just regular day average people. You'll take so many doctors, so many engineers, so many electricians, so many spacecraft people, so many of this and that, and spacecraft technicians, so many warriors and stuff like that. That's just a bait I rigged up. I'm doing side stuff right now. Anyways, so yeah, you'll take up political people, political leaders and stuff like that, and you'll create hierarchies to create laws and stuff like that. But you'll be your own Earth, so you can you'll be your own country, so you make up your own laws. So you'll vote amongst the people to decide what you want. So it'll be a true democracy, because everything will be voted per person. You won't have representatives. There'll be like a king, so to speak, or maybe not exactly a king, but like a president or something like that. That'll oversee everything, but they won't have that much power. Anything that they do, they'll have to get voter enough votes to pass it, or else it won't count. They won't be able to pass the law. And of course, there'll have to be jails, onboard jails and stuff like that for crime and whatnot. All right, moving along. So, I'm gonna rig up a different one in this one. All right. So yeah. What it'll do is if you take 10,000 people and you make 10,000 spaceships, there you go. That's a lot of your population gone. And then eventually you'll work up to where you'll send out 1 million spaceships. And then that would be 1 billion people. And there you go. Your population's good. You don't have to worry about overpopulation. You don't have to worry about resources and whatnot on Earth. So there you go. Population control solved without even killing anybody. But we'll do force mandates. So each government will be forced to by the U.S. because the U.S. is going to be the one doing it, and it won't be just the U.S. It'll be the UN. They'll be backing it. I'm sure they will because it's the only way to actually ensure the continuation of the human race without it being destroyed. So I'm pretty sure they'll back it. But anyways, so what will happen is you'll have to choose a certain amount of people to send up, depending on per population, the ratio of how many spaceships you have to send up, of how many 10,000 people you would have to send up. So like China and India and the US would have to send up more than like Puerto Rico, if at all any from Puerto Rico, or like even like Great Britain, it would send up a lot less than the US because the US has such a higher population. So you know what I'm saying? It'll be based off of population of how many you have to send up. But we can do mixed because it doesn't have to be just British people go there. It could be British people sent up with the American people. It's a new country, so it doesn't have to be just one set country going up on one spaceship, one race going up on a spaceship. It can be many, multiple, as many as you want. So yeah, there's that. You can build any country you want with however many races you want. It'll be up to you. It'll be based upon certain jobs, and then after the job people are picked, then it's up to those job people to decide what the next step is, like how many of whomever they want. So I rigged up a blue one in this one. The other one I rigged up a white one, white trailer. It's the same bait. I just rigged it up different trailers. Just what I wanted to do. Anyways, so yeah, so what was I thinking about? But yeah, that's just some of my inventions. I got other inventions to help the earth, but that's the main one that's gonna help us out a ton. Like a ton. It's gonna keep us from being killed off and exterminated by ourselves. Where's my Carolina rigs? Carolina rigs, where are you at? There you are. Of course, I gotta tape everything. It's sealed in a plastic box, but let's tape it anyways. Stupid people. It's whatever. That's not really gonna fit in there like that. Let's just take that out. Put it in there like that. Whatever. I'll show you my finished tackle boxes when I finish. As I was talking about, so I've talked about some of my other inventions and whatnot. So I got people joining. If you guys want to talk, feel free. You can ask any questions if you want to know anything about me or my channel or any of my viewpoints, or if I say something that you don't understand, ask me to explain it and what you don't understand, and feel free to argue. I don't care. Yeah, everybody's entitled to their own views. You don't have to believe what I talk about. It's whatever. So I'm a plane theorist. So if you know anything about plane theory, it's that the universe is built in a framework of planes. The planes are, in my theory, are built up by conglomerate of dark matter that's been fused together. So, anyway, so this dark matter that's fused together lays the groundwork of the whole universe, known universe. So, why is this bait so hard to open? Jesus Christ. Well, anyways, so the plane, the more mass you have creates more surface. Well, the more surface area you have creates more gravity because the plane has more surface area to interact with the object to create gravity. So that's how gravity is created and determined. The greater the surface area, the greater the gravitational field. Yeah, so Einstein sort of hinted towards it, but he wasn't quite sure of what caused gravity. That's what causes gravity, planes. So the bigger and greater the surface area, the greater the gravity. He didn't quite associate that. He thought that it was due to the actual mass or, the actual mass. But it isn't the actual mass of the object, it's the surface area. The greater the surface area, the greater the gravitational effect the floor plane will have on it. My spinnerbait rigged up. Yeah, so there's that. Einstein was sort of right. Einstein was wrong on most everything. But he laid the groundwork for a lot of discoveries. So, and him being wrong, he was also right because he created a lot of theories to come about, built as like the groundwork that he laid. And even if you're wrong, at least you're putting out a theory out there that allows somebody to realize, oh, hold on, wait, that's wrong. Let me think about what's right. And then you come out with the right thing, which would have never been come out with if you didn't already know the wrong to begin with. So, yeah, it helps out a lot, even having somebody that's wrong about everything, like Einstein. Einstein was wrong about everything. People can agree to disagree with me, but I don't care. Yeah, so Einstein was the stupidest, smartest person to ever have lived because he was wrong about everything. He wasn't a practical physicist. He was just a theoretical physicist, and that's where lies his issues. Why he was wrong so much, because he never thought about the practical aspects of it like Tesla did. Tesla was a practical theoretical. He was a practical physicist, not a theoretical physicist like Einstein. And that's why Tesla was so much better than Einstein, so much smarter, so much more successful, and everything he did. Yeah. So there's that. Oh, did I even show this one? I think I did. Oh, if I didn't, there you go. There's that spinnerbait rigged up. Spinnerbaits are horrible to put in your tackle box, by the way. You gotta try and get them to fit in properly. Good luck with that. All right, so another spinnerbait getting rigged up. This one can be put in with the chartreuse one. Here we go. Chartreuse shred. So, yeah. Strike King doesn't want their stuff stolen, so they over-engineer it to be really hard to open. Which most companies do, anyways. Thieves are horrible. I used to be a thief, and I understand how horrible I was for being a thief. There's just no point. Nothing to gain from being a thief. And as I stab myself with the hook, yeah, you don't ever gain anything from being a thief. Nothing. You gotta work hard for stuff. Alright, here we go. Rigging up this with that. I remember I got the black and blue with my sapphire speed craws. And this one has a rattle too. Hold on, wait. Looks like you guys could hear that, hopefully. But yeah, I consider myself a practical physicist. My brother is a theoretical physicist, and he would probably disagree with me, but he is. He's not an engineer like me. Yeah, so he's more of a theoretical physicist. I'm a practical physicist. As to what's better, depends on what type of physicist you are. If you're a theoretical physicist, theoretical physics is the better. If you're a practical physicist, then practical's better, obviously. So yeah, but asking me, I'm biased, so whatever. You would have to ask like the layman people that aren't actually physicists, because you'll always get disagreements. Put practical and theoretical together, they'll always say that, oh, we're the right ones. They're the wrong way to go about it. They're going about it the wrong way. It's like, well, everybody goes about it a different way for a reason. Anyways, so there's that. There's no way I'm going to be able to rig up all this stuff, but we'll rig up some of it. This one has such a big blade on it. Look at how big that blade is. Holy crap. I must push so much water around it. If this doesn't catch a big fish, I don't know what will. Besides a chatterbait. Pushing that much water around. Anyways, I'm not going to be able to finish all this because I got to go to bed soonish. At least get 4 hours of sleep. Horrible that I'm only getting that much sleep. And having to work like 12-hour shifts, but it's whatever. It is what it is when it is what it is. So, anyways, as far as like black holes and stuff like that, people think that, oh, you might be able to survive if you're able to put like a gravitational field around you. No. You're never going to be able to do anything or invent anything or do anything to ever be able to survive going into a black hole. A black hole is a recycle bin, so to speak. It's like a trash compactor. It compacts the trash. But there's white holes in that. What happens is if there's too much dark matter, then it'll cause bad things to happen to gray matter, because there isn't white matter here in this universe. It's gray matter. But anyways, so to have a balance, the balance is between the universes. I put this all in my theory of the universe videos, theory of the multiverse. So go back and watch that if you want more in depth about it, talk about it. But yeah. So what happens is to keep a homeostasis, because you have to keep a homeostasis the black holes and white holes keep a certain amount of gray matter and dark matter in this universe. So if there's too much of one, then it uh, gets sucked into the black hole, and if there's not enough, then it comes out of the white hole. You get what I'm saying? Whatever you need comes out of the white hole. And there's black holes and white holes even in the heavens. So people think that it's only in this universe. No, it's in the heavens too. They're in the heavens too. And people think that it doesn't rain in the heavens. Well, rain in the heavens is white matter or gray matter, mostly white matter, coming out. Rain is a form of white matter, pure white matter. It's just different than pure white. I don't know how to explain it. It's just different than pure white matter that you'd be thinking of, because pure white matter glows. But it is pure white matter. It's just different than what you would associate with pure white matter when you think of it. So when it rains, it means that there's too much white matter being used in the heavens to create stuff to fuel your body, because even though you're immortal, you still drink water. So if you're drinking the water, then you're taking white matter out, but you're not putting anything back into the system. You're just taking out of it. So to create a homeostasis, every once in a while, white matter needs to be replenished, so that comes through the white holes that are above you in the heavens, and that's why it rains down on you in the heavens. Most people don't understand that, but that's the way it is. But there's also dark matter that is in the heavens, and most people are like, dark matter in the heavens, what? And yeah, that's why there's also dark holes in or black holes in the heavens too, and that sucks up the excess dark matter to keep it from killing people. That's the only way to really destroy an immortal being, is to bombard them with dark matter. Dark matter causes gray matter and white matter to disperse and break its bonds together, so it would dissipate the body. The manifesting body of the being, but the soul can't be destroyed by dark matter. It's different. It has a protective barrier because of it being a cold fusion generator. So it can't be destroyed. The soul never gets destroyed, but the body, the vessel, can be destroyed in the heavens, even if you're a mortal being. So there's that. So to help keep that from happening, a homeostasis has to be maintained to keep there from being too much dark matter and causing bombardment and destroying the vessels of all the immortal beings in the heavens. So to control that, there's black holes that were created, and white holes were created to create the homeostasis. So there's three main verses, and there's black holes and white holes that connect all three of them. And so there's too much in one, then it gets shoved to another one. It gets taken out by a black hole and gets shoved into the other one via a white hole over there. So you just create a homeostasis between the two of them. And there's a lot of black holes and white holes and whatnot. There's not just like, oh, one here, one there. There's thousands of them. Hundreds upon thousands of them. There's not like tens of thousands of them, but there's thousands of them out there. Anyways, so back to what I was doing. Let's go ahead and put some of my crankbaits in here. Lipless crankbaits. I'm going into my tackle box. So anyways, I don't know what else anything you want to ask me. I'm quite intelligent. Any discussions you want, whomever is watching. I don't know. They're not talking in the comments, so I don't know. But anyways, yeah. That's showing up really loud. I bet you guys think, wow, what is he doing that for? I just think it's cool hearing the sound of it because they each sound different. Some sound lighter, some sound darker. Just depends on what shape, size, and how many are in there. Like, see, this one has a completely different sound to it. It has those beads in it. I can tell. But anyways, as far as what's my favorite bait fishing with, it would definitely be the jigs and lippers crankbaits. I'm not a fan of crankbaits, personally. It probably just is because I haven't fished them that much and I'm not used to them. But as far as what I like the best and most comfortable fishing with, my go-to baits would be a jig and also lipless crankbaits. But the jigs I'm used to are swim jigs. So I'm not really used to anything but swim jigs. And I'm not used to fishing with weedless. So yeah, there's that. The jigs that I fish that I'm most comfortable with would be like jig heads and putting a bait on the back of it. I like to fish jig heads with live bait too. Most people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, you catch fish like no tomorrow doing that because that's not a common thing that people do, and the fish just go berserk for it. They do. Trust me. They're like, oh, what's that? The weight gets them down there, and the movement of the injured bait fish it just triggers them like no tomorrow. They will go crazy for it. Trust me, if you've never done it before, try it. I've done it with worms. I've done it with minnows. The best result is with minnows, but yeah, worms is a little bit awkward. But I have done it before. I ran out of hooks, so I was just like, oh, rig it up on a jig head, and it catches fish. Yeah, so everybody has their go-to baits. Mine are lipless crankbaits and jig heads, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and try new ways of fishing, so eventually I'll get to the point in my life where I catch fish on pretty much everything and anything and become the fisherman I'm meant to be. Look at this bait. That's so cool. I like this pattern. Ozark Trail really knows what they're doing with painting their baits. And for being supposed to be a really cheap bait, this bait was not cheap. And their hooks are good hooks on it. Like, people complain, oh, they don't get good hooks and they skimp on their hooks. Well, that's not quite true. Ozark Trail is expanding their brand and they're going like all out. This is a new version of their old school, and they really went all out on these. They're not cheap. They actually tried for quality on these. They're really great. From what I can tell, Ozark Trail, great job on your new baits. They come looking like this. The old ones do not look like this. And these are way more expensive than the old ones. The old ones are like $1. These are like, I don't know, I think they were like $5 or something. I can't remember, but they were way more expensive. Yeah. I like them. I want to fish with them. And the color schemes on them, oh my God. Ozark Trail really knows what they're doing. I wish Strike King would take a cue from this. Look at that. Fish are gonna go berserk on this. Listen to that too. The difference of these liver crankbaits and the Strike King. There's just a whole bunch of little beads in these. But in your tackle box, you want to have different kinds because you never know what they want. They might want the bigger, and they might want the smaller beads in it. Every fish is different, and every pond is different, and every fish in every river is different. Same species, and they could be in the river that's feeding the pond, and they feed on completely different, hit a completely different lure than they would in the actual lake itself. So you just gotta experiment and have a very versatile collection of lures. But you gotta be careful because taking too many lures with you will just make you change too often. And you'll never catch fish because you'll just be changing too often and you won't actually be able to find out what the fish really want. Because you got to invest and fish the same bait over and over and over again because you got to look for them. And younger bass will feed on different bait, will hit different lures than more mature ones too. And males and females will hit different ones too. And depending on what part of the lake they are, they'll hit different baits too. Like, they're shallow or they're deep. So, yeah. And by different baits, I mean like different colors. A deep one might only hit white or chartreuse versus a shallow one might only hit black or more natural like green pumpkin or something like that, or like a natural shad. And this shad might only hit it deep. And if you're fishing it shallow, they probably won't hit it because it's less natural. It's more like chartreusey looking. Versus a more natural one, they might hit this one shallow. Whereas the other less natural shad looking pattern, they would only hit that deep. So you just gotta experiment. You just never know. I've had a lot of luck with blue lipless crankbaits. Fish love blue lipless crankbaits for some odd reason. I don't know why, but something about the blue. It was probably the area I was in because there was a lot of bluegills. That's what I'm guessing. Here, they probably wouldn't hit as many times on this as shad, white colored one. But who knows? I haven't really fished this area that much, so I would not know. I haven't even caught a fish here yet. But when I was fishing and the style I was fishing, it just wasn't ideal. I was just pretty much just getting my bait wet just to get my bait wet. I wasn't actually expecting to catch anything. Yeah, that's whatever. All these baits are shaped different and all sorts of stuff. Walmart has a good variety of baits. They do. I mean, like, if your Walmart's a good Walmart and they stock up, they have a lot of variety, a lot to choose from, a lot of good quality lures to choose from. You just gotta know what you're doing, honestly. It's really hard to know what to buy when there's a lot of variety. That's why Bass Pro Shops will mess with a new angler because there's so much stuff. What do I buy? What do I buy? I don't know. What do I do? There's so many baits. What to buy? I can't buy it all. It's too expensive. There I go, dropping a bait because it decided it was going to hook me. This is not striking. I just did the package down. I don't even care what it is. Honestly, it's just a lipless crankbait. Craw. Blue and black. A lot of these baits have color changing colors on them too. That's very cool. That's new school. Old school baits didn't have that sort of thing. That's new to it's a new artistic technique. Didn't have paint like that for haven't had paint like that for very long. Green black bat, color changing belly. Another Ozark Trail one. All right. I think that's all my crankbaits I have right now. Currently. There's going to be a lot more coming. If you haven't put 2 and 2 together, I'm going to be doing another fishing giveaway pretty soon. Well, not soon. I don't know why I said pretty soon. I just lied. It won't be pretty soon. But yeah, I'm going to do another one eventually. Alright. So, I gotta see if I'm going to need any of that for my jigs. Do I have any white jigs over here? Yes. So I got black and blue jigs. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need more of that. That's a green pumpkin. I'll be using my green for that. All right. Looks like we're good with that. All right. Time to rig these up. Some will be jigs. Some will be bladed jigs. Chatterbaits. I call them bladed jigs. Whatever. Same name. Or different name. Same bait. Yeah, so I wonder who's watching. I'm so curious. There's only one person watching, but I just want to know who it is. I'm curious. Very curious to know who it is. Yeah, I expect to get a lot of flack for what I was talking about earlier when I first started, but well, a lot of it. My conspiracy videos, conspiracy talk gets a lot of flack from people because different viewpoints in that. But I'm not trying to not trying to force a viewpoint on anybody. That's where arguments start. Is when, oh, I'm the one that's right. No, I'm the one that's right. You're wrong. Like, no, have a discussion. Talk about different viewpoints. That's the way it's supposed to be. But yeah, it's whatever. All right. Then these will rig up white. Then these, I just have a lot more of these finesse jigs. I'm actually going to keep these for myself since 2 should be enough for you guys. If not, then you can go buy some more. I got different colors for you guys, so it shouldn't really matter. I'm going to keep this one. I don't accidentally throw in trash in it with not trash. Don't want to do that. I might end up throwing away non-trash. All right. So I'm going to do the same with these reaction tackles. Nah, actually, I'm going to give you all 4 of them. Forget it. even though I should keep some, but I got 2 of them, so I don't care. So if you get a bait that has these weed guards sticking up really high, all you gotta do is just press them down and bend it over to get it to sit onto the hook. I do that when I go to fish it. I don't normally do that beforehand because it makes it harder to rig stuff on it. So I just do it afterwards, but whatever. It doesn't really matter, honestly. I'm going to put these in the same one so I don't need to take that divider out. I'll show you what I'm doing once I finish rigging them, what I'm doing off camera. But yeah, anyways, so some other conspiracy videos that I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I don't know what I want to talk about, honestly. I'm tired. I'm tired. Not enough sleep. Bunch of work hours. You know how it is if you work fast food. I side hooked that one. Oh, crap. I don't want to. Sometimes I side hook these, but it doesn't really matter if the bait sideways. It might just make the bass hit that more over a proper rigged one because it'll resemble more of a injured bait fish because it'll be flopping all over the place instead of swimming straight. Like if you hook it properly. All right. Those are football jigs. That last one I just showed you, that I just rigged is a football jig. I'm not gonna rig more than one of each of them because you might want to go buy your own jig trailers. So yeah, everybody's different. So I'm not gonna just force it upon everybody. So, my own viewpoints of how I would fish it. So there's that. You're not gonna get everything rigged up. Just some of it so that way you can just boom fish it right away if you want. Tie it right up. At least a few. Alright, so time to rig up these jack hummers. These are really expensive, so they have them really anti-theft proof. So, oh man, this pile of trash over here is annoying. It's so big. Come on, you piece of crap. There we go. Move the hook guard. If I can. How did they hook guard this? I hate hook guards, man. Am I gonna have to cut? Ow. That's why I hate hook guards. I normally get stabbed when I'm taking them off. Ow. Hook guards to protect you. Yeah, right. Load of baloney. Hook guards to hurt you. So bad. I'm only gonna rig one up. The other one I'm not rigging up. I'm not going to take the hook guard off the other one because I hate hook guards and I hate removing them. So I'm going to let you do that. Have at it. Have fun with it. Because I don't have fun with it. Alright, I'm rigging up a weight on this. All the extra trailers in that, I'm just going to set off to the side in a separate one. Ones that I'm not rigging up because I'm only rigging up one bait. I did put some extra in some of them, but I'm not going to do it for all of them. Because there's a lot of lures. So there's that. That's what that looks like. Now you could go with the pumpkin on here trailer if you want. Another reason why I don't rig them all, because you could go with a different color if you wanted and it would still match. Yeah. Some of these I don't even have a trailer to go with them. But hey. I just match them the best I can and call it a day. With this one, I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna go with the green pumpkin. I like the the skirt's in the way. I like the way that has that orange in there. And with the green pumpkin, that's so cool. Very nice looking, very nice. When I do the giveaway and that, all the inserts that I've taken out, I'll bag them up in a Ziploc bag so that way you can change your tackle box if you want. I'm not just going to leave them out like most people would. These baits are so slippery. It makes it so hard to rig these. And the weed guards make it hard to rig these too. I'm still new to fishing stuff like this, so rigging stuff up, it's new to me. I watch videos, so I mean, I'm not the worst, but I'm definitely not the best. I just hooked that up with the speed craw. It's a long profile, but it's not exactly the biggest profile because it's not fat, it's skinny. This person has been watching me for a really long time. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All right, so these are finesse jigs, but they're going to be rigged in the same color, so they're going to go in the same slot in my tackle box. Oh, they already have trailers on them. Yay, these ones came already rigged, so I don't have to do anything. And they're real finessey compact too. Trailers on them, so yay. You see how the weed guard's sticking up a lot? I'm going to try and bend it down the best I can. Wow. Come on. All right, there you go. That's good. Better than it was. I mean, it's not perfect, but you guys can finagle it more if you want. Oh, crap. Bait's already falling apart. Pieces of it are coming apart. Too soon. All right, rigging up a cheddar bait. Another one. This one's a green pumpkin. I'm keeping my cheddar baits and jigs separate because of transportation and that. You don't want to store them in the same slot in your tackle box. you can break your and bend your blade if you do that. Not a good idea. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't matter too much, but there's a possibility. See the hook on this? It's so long. That would go perfect with this bait because this bait's long too. So what I do is when I rig these, I've learned that for keeping your bait on here longer, I didn't center that right. I'll re-rig it. But what I found out what works the best is pushing it all the way up to the end of the first segment of the bait, then pushing it through. So that way I'm rigging the whole first section of the bait onto it. Yeah, from what I can tell, it keeps the bait on there better and it allows you to fish the bait longer. And yeah, it'll save you money in the long run. Just my opinion on how I rig it. Everybody rigs stuff differently, but that's the way I rig it, if you're wondering. All right, so here's my heavy finesse jigs. I got 2 of these. I'm going to keep one of these too. A package of this. Because I like those. And I don't have any. They have the round flipping head on them. And I'm rigging them up with the green pumpkin, speed cross, super speed cross. Oh, add super and it'll make people want to buy it. Appeal to the children aspect of them. Super. Like, seriously, it's just a speed cross. What are you doing, Zoom? Words aren't everything. That's just an ad gimmick. Well, we'll sell more of them if we say it's super. New and improved. But it's like barely different than the first one. Anytime they say new and improved, I'm like, ah, idiots. Stupid. Oh, come on. There we go. Football head. Finesse. Finesse football head. This one's watermelon. I'm going to leave it untrailered because I don't really have anything that goes with that. Oh, well, I do have watermelon candy. I'm going to rig it watermelon candy. You know what? I'm just going to do that. That's good enough for me. I think that would look good together. And I think the fish will. If I like it, then the fish should. You like my logic? If I like it, and I would eat it. If it looks like a fish I would eat, then I'm sure a predatory fish would eat it. Now, these baits do have these jigs. Some of them have bait holders on them, or jig holders, whatever you want to call it. But I don't ever put it up over it. Just my personal preference. I think it messes with the action of the bait and the durability of the bait. So I don't do that. Just me. Everybody's a different fisherman or fisher girl. So yeah, do what you want. Yeah, but I'm just giving you a basis of if you want to go out and you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to rig it, you'll get a feel for it by just looking at what I did. So I have another one of these chatterbaits that is a green pumpkin, but you know what? I'm gonna rig it with a watermelon candy. I rigged the other one with an actual green pumpkin, but I'm gonna rig this one with a different one. I normally wouldn't rig both baits, but I want to do it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm the one who's giving it away in the giveaway that I'm gonna do. This there's gonna be a giveaway with Yu-Gi-Oh, and there's gonna be a giveaway with toys. So if you got kids, like they'll be the toys that I like that I paid for from my work, McDonald's. So yeah, like I picked up some dinosaurs that come in eggs, and then I picked up some Groots. I am Groot. They were the best looking toys, so I picked those up. But I don't know when I'm going to do that. It'll probably be a little later on after I pick up some more toys. I'll probably end up picking up quite a few more before I do it. And then I'm also going to do a Yu-Gi-Oh one. I'm still picking up Yu-Gi-Oh product for my Yu-Gi-Oh giveaway. I do have some product already picked up. I just don't have all of it picked up yet for my giveaway. All right. Any more jigs to rig up? Nope, no more. Alright, so with the rest of these, I'm going to just put them in slots. And you can do with them what you want. You can fish them Texas rig, whatever. Or if you break off your bait off of your rigged, you got more to rig up. Just grab it out the slot, put it in there. But I'm not leaving them in the packages. I'm building tackle boxes to sell. They're to sell to give away. So I'm not going to leave them in the packages. But this is only showing some of what I've already done. I'll show you some of the other that I've done when I film for my giveaway. It'll be with my other camera because I'm not just going to hold a tackle box that's already been made up and watch it all fall out and whatnot. Bang around and do God knows what that I don't want it to do. So yeah, there's that. I just almost threw that out as trash. Whoops. I mean, all of these are gonna have to go in a different tackle box over here. This one over here, because yeah, that's not gonna fit in there in this tackle box. Alright, so I got these poppers too. These aren't gonna fit in this tackle box either. But my frog will. I'm gonna throw that frog in there. I'm gonna probably end up having to buy some more tackle boxes, which I expected to, because this is gonna be a big giveaway. That's a frog that's gonna get ate the crap out of. I really like the look of that frog too, and the color of it. Very nice. There's some things that won't fit in tackle boxes, like that and the bat. Yeah, so it is what it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on. I can definitely change some of these up. But I don't really care. I want it to be spaced out. So I'm just going to get some more tackle boxes eventually to fit all my tackle gear. Alright, so boom, that's going in. Alright, it's almost 2, so and I've been going on live stream almost 2 hours. Still one person here. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, whomever is sticking around. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing live streams a lot, so you guys just pay attention if you like live streams, and I'll do Q&As. So if you want to pop in some questions, feel free to, or just talk about stuff. I don't really care. You can talk about anything you want. Just try not to cuss. I mean, I slip some curse words every once in a while into my channel, and I don't edit. So yeah, I'm sorry if you hear me cussing. I try not to, but everybody's gonna cuss eventually when you're an adult. It just happens sometimes. I don't know what they call this, Whopper Plopper, but I think that's what this is a Whopper Plopper. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. I'm not quite 100% sure if they're called Whopper Ploppers or if these are different than Whopper Ploppers. I don't know. But they're very cool looking regardless. And I got a bone colored and a black colored one. So you could have a choice, black or white. Well, it's not white, but you get the point. This one has a weighted fin, and this one has the same plastic as the actual bait itself. Way different than the other one. I like the black one way better. Although the paint scheme and the eyes the eyes are better on the white bait, and the fins come on this bait, whereas the white one doesn't have any fins. What do I think would catch the most fish? Probably the white one. But that black one, don't sleep on it. It has a small profile. Definitely is going to slay some fish. All right. So I'm going to take all these baits out and put them in the tackle box in one section, if at all possible. Yeah, they'll fit. Just barely, though. Not really, but I'll make them fit. This is going to be a tight fit. These would be good to fish on light tackle. But I wanted them as finesse trailers, too. So those finesse ones, those pumpkin finesse, throw that on there. Fish would slay that. All right, yeah, that fits good. And then these things, I want to see what these look like out of package so bad. I thought these were Japanese baits, but these baits, and I thought they were way bigger. The picture made them look way bigger. The propaganda on it, I was saying propaganda because it's Chinese baits. I know, I'm horrible. I don't care. Yeah, these are definitely not big enough to be trailers. All right, you want to catch a bluegill? Here you go. Get you a small 1/0 or 1/2 hook. There you go. They're Craws or something like, they're not Craws. They're creature baits. They're just like really small though. I did not know that they were gonna be this small like that, or else I wouldn't on the bottom. But whatever, it is what it is. It doesn't matter too much. All right, so I finished building my tackle boxes, by the way, in that amount of time. It only took me an hour and 20 minutes with talking. But yeah, so anyways, I'll be doing some more live streams pretty soon on my channel. I just like doing them. But yeah, they're pretty long, most of them. Yeah, it is what it is. But I'll be putting up some regular videos pretty soon. I gotta post my recap video of what I caught to the last time I went magnet fishing. And then I also have to post my Loctite, how to Loctite my magnet for my magnet fishing giveaway, because some people don't know what they're doing. Yeah, it's not that complicated, but yeah, I'll still go through it and I'll show you how I rig up my rigs, and yeah, I'll put them together with my carbiners and that. But I'm not gonna actually put the ropes on the rope holders that I bought. You can do that yourself. It's just like more work than I want to deal with. Honestly. Plus, they'll ship better, and the longevity of the cable wire holders that I'm using for the rope will last longer if I don't do that. So I'll just leave it like that. But it's really hard to find high quality ones. I really would like a machinist to make steel ones, because the rope doesn't want to actually last long on those plastic ones. It wants to break them and bend them and whatnot. So yeah, it really sucks being a magnet fisherman and not having steel or aluminum uh, rope holders to wind your rope around. Yeah, it is what it is. Eventually, hopefully, that will happen, but we'll see. Maybe I'll invent one. Who knows? And not really that it would be an invention. It would just be make it something that's already invented as aluminum, but I could design it differently so that I could patent it. So it doesn't really matter if you want to run with it. I'll run with it too eventually, probably. Yeah, and design my own critique for man fishing. So I'm thinking about eventually growing my brand. I have a company name. I haven't even got my company name copyrighted or anything like that, but yeah, I like my company name. Hopefully nobody steals it before I can copyright it, because I really like it. I'm gonna do all sorts of stuff on my company that I'm trying to build. It's a little bit in the future. It's probably gonna be at least a year before my business actually opens. But when my business actually opens, I'll sell product like this. I'll sell my invention products. I'll sell resell items. I'll sell all sorts of stuff. Yeah, but it's gonna be cool. I'll sell stuff pretty cheap too, as cheap as I can. I won't all just be about profit, but it will be about profit though. So I'll have to sell it more than what I paid for it. But still, it is what it is. Um, I'll sell stuff like this where I'll build tackle boxes too and sell them, uh, and design my own baits and make my own baits and sell them. I want to get into wood carving pretty soon and carving my own baits. I think that'd be cool. But I want to build my own baits too, because it's hard to get away from that stupid non-environmental friendly baits that are made with lead and plastic and stuff like that. That really doesn't degrade very well. Uh, um, if you want something that's good for the environment, then you gotta build it yourself, like making the lure out of wood, or making it out of something that's biodegradable. Um, but I won't just make stuff that's biodegradable too. I'll make like steel and tungsten and stuff like that. I might shy away from tungsten. I might just do like aluminum and steel. But yeah, preferably aluminum. I probably make most of my baits out of aluminum. Um, and that, and then I'll also make like my own lipless crankbaits out of wood and aluminum balls inside, so that way it's not lead inside of it. I want to get a line going where environmental friendly baits that you can buy, because they're really hard to find, and really hard to find what you want, what you need to fish with. So yeah, I want to get started on that eventually. But yeah, I need money to invest into it. I'm looking into selling my inventions. Once I get my invention patented, I'm gonna sell it directly to the government. I'm gonna have to, because of how dangerous they are if they fall into the wrong hands, like the private sector, where profit margins are key. I need to give it to somebody who's not gonna have to worry about profit. Yeah, i.e., the government, because they don't need to make profit. So any profit that they do make is good. But if they're losing money, then they're not actually losing money. So they don't have to worry about going out and sacrificing the human race for money, because it's really dangerous. If abused wrong or used wrong, my inventions could bring about the destruction of all living things in the known universe. So it has to fall into the right hands, our government, the United States government. So I'm going to work directly with them and have my lawyer talk directly and negotiate directly with the government, because I won't be able to patent it in the private sector for sale in the private sector either. They'll have to control all sales of it and all production of it, and all research and development will have to go through the government too, because of how dangerous it is. Yeah, but I'm like the only person that would be conscious about something like that, and wouldn't just go like, "Oh, I can make trillions of dollars. Let me just open up my own business and start my own line." It's like, no, yeah, think of the future and think of the consequences of doing that. So I might not make as much money, a lot less money off of it, but yeah, I'm gonna try and sell my patent outright to the government for $1 million, and they'll just take whatever profit they want out of it. I won't even ask to get paid royalties out of it either. If they make any money out of it, I just will have stipulations like I get 1,000 names or 10,000 names of people that I can choose to allow them to take and use as much of my product as they want, free, and not have to worry about regulations or anything that the government may impose that would be above it. So like I'll get $1 million and the names too. That would be my incentive for not taking profit margin off of their profits. Yeah. And then I also have other ones that are like military use and Navy use and stuff like that. So uh, I wouldn't really want profit off of those, because it's for the government and for our to protect our armed forces, men and women. So yeah, and help them out and further them. And so I wouldn't want to take any profit from it, but I would want an initial profit of my patent. So I would like sell the patent to the government, 1 million a piece on that too, or 1 million a piece, 1 million for both of those things. Um, so 1 million for the single, and then 1 million for the inventions altogether that would be used for the military aspect. But it would also be applicable in the private sector. So I'll leave it up to the government whether they want to allow it to be in the private sector or not, because I'm developing it for the armed forces, but it has applications in the private sector too that would help out a lot. But it's up to the government if they would want to do that or not. but I'm gonna leave it up to them. So yeah, when I go to patent, my lawyer's gonna have to negotiate directly with the government. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, but I'm glad that it would be like that because I'm wanting to help them out. I want to help my government out. I'm a patriot. I know a lot of people think, oh, you're discriminated against by the government because you're Irish as an IRA operative. Like, I don't really care. They can think what they want. I'm a patriot and I support our government. So I'm going to try and help out our armed forces and stuff like that, the men and women in that, and our government in that. But yeah, with my inventions eventually. So I'll have my lawyer negotiate with them directly with the government and try and get them the help that they need with my inventions and to further us and help us out. But yeah, there's all sorts of inventions that I have that would help out the military aspect of the government, even through like all sorts of things. But power is key. So yeah, I got inventions for power too give our troops all the power that they need. It's an invention that would allow them to be able to not have to worry about running out of fuel or needing to refuel. They could just fly for forever or also drive for forever. So there's that aspect. That's the other one. I would sell both of those inventions for $1 million. So like half of $1 million for the power assist for takeoffs and $500,000 for the power source to keep them flying once they've taken off in the flight or keep driving once they've driven around or start them to drive, whatever. You know what I mean? You get the point. But yeah, one of my inventions I was talking about, I already told you about, is a power assist takeoff. It allows you to save fuel and it adds speed to your aircraft. It can also be spacecraft too, so that's a private sector aspect I was talking about. So it can be used to add speed to your spacecraft and also save fuel, so that way you can travel further. But yeah, there's that. Uh, Go and watch Tomorrowland if you want to see what my invention is in an improper way, because if you were to actually use the way that they show in Tomorrowland, it would kill you. If you were in the spaceship and on that power assist takeoff track that they show, that was my failed attempt at it, my first attempt at my invention, and it fails. It would kill you. The G forces would kill you instantly. Your insides would slam into your outsides, and you would be killed instantly uh, from the G forces. So I fixed the G force problem, and I'm gonna patent my fixed non G force kill you version of the power assist takeoff, and then also patent the power assist takeoff aspect associated with the Navy ships, aircraft carriers, and that it can be implemented into it, into our aircraft carriers. But yeah, I got all sorts of things that inventions. I've even invented a utopian society. So yeah, I don't know. I might try and sell that patent to the utopian society to the government too, see if they'll bite on that. But I don't know. They might not want to. Uh, if they do, I even have an invention of a skyscraper that they can have. If they're willing to pay me for it, and I wouldn't even ask royalties and stuff like that. If I'm selling a patent, I don't want royalties out of it. I just want the initial payment of it for the patent to sell you the patent, and I would write ownership over to you. In that case, it would be our government, because that's who I'd be selling the patents to. I wouldn't sell patents to private sector, only government. That's just the type of person I am. Yeah, but anyways, so I'm gonna take off. You too. You have a good one.